Hey guys, it's Bro You Whack, and I haven't made an Overwatch 2 video in a hot minute, but I probably won't make another Overwatch 2 video after this one for a very long time because there hasn't been any updates that we need to really talk about. Everything that has been said about Overwatch 2 has already been said at BlizzCon, but what I want to do for this specific video is to, one, tell you guys what Overwatch 2 is because the community is still confused on what it is. But for the rest, then, the majority of this video, I did want to talk about Overwatch 2, quote-unquote, saving Overwatch, which I'm using very loosely because does Overwatch 1 even really need saving, and will Overwatch 2 even fix what the problems are in Overwatch 1? But first, let me explain what Overwatch 2 even is. This is the graphic that you need to pay attention to, and if you still don't know what Overwatch 2 is after looking at this graphic and hearing my explanation, there is absolutely no hope for you in this world. Overwatch 2, when it comes to PvP only, will be a free expansion or just a transfer. So if you have Overwatch 1 right now, all the heroes, all the game modes, all the maps, and more importantly, all the skins will transfer into Overwatch 2. But when they continuously update Overwatch 2 in PvP only, you will still get the heroes, the maps, the game modes for free. So that means you will not have to pay for Echo. That means you will not have to pay for the new look of Overwatch 2. And that means all your skins that you got from the event for your main will be in Overwatch 2. If I see any questions in regards to PvP of, well, how this, it's free. Don't worry about it. You're gonna get it. And if you're still confused about the PvE experience of Overwatch 2, I'm right there with you because Blizzard really hasn't came out and said anything in regards to that. What a lot of people are assuming when it comes to the PvE experience of Overwatch 2 is that it will be behind a paywall, and a lot of people are kind of turned off by that because, oh, why should I have to pay for things that I want? Well, honey, that's how the world works. But I kind of picture it like how Fortnite is, where there's two separate modes when it comes to Fortnite. You have Battle Royale, and then you have the Save the World. Same thing for Overwatch. What I think is going to happen is that when Overwatch 2 does come out, you're going to boot up the game, and then you're going to have two options. To play the multiplayer side of Overwatch 2, which is basically just Overwatch 1, and you'll also have Overwatch 2's campaign story, which will be behind a paywall. I don't know what the price is, so don't quote me on this, but I'm going to assume it's going to be anywhere from $30 to $60 depending on how many missions there are. So if you didn't pay attention to any of that, again, you're not going to make it in this world, but the best way to look at Overwatch 2 is a glorified update, a chapter 2 if you will, if we're going to take a page out of Fortnite's book. You're still going to get this massive update, but you're going to have options to be able to pay for more content in the form of lore and story and PvE. So the fact that Overwatch 2 is even a thing and possibly coming out in the near future is a fantastic thing and a welcome thing. I mean, it's free content at the end of the day and possibly more lore that we can pay for to help benefit Blizzard to continuously update the PvP experience of Overwatch. But there is still some people that are confused on what Overwatch 2 will do to Overwatch 1. Now, in terms of the function, because we already went over that, what I'm talking about is that there are some people that are claiming that Overwatch 2 is gonna fix Overwatch 1, that's gonna solve everybody's problems that they have with the base game of Overwatch, that'll make the meta so balanced, it'll make competitive a glorious place, and Genji and Tracer will get back into the meta and as the best heroes of all time. Will it though? Will Overwatch 2 really do any of that? That's what the rest of the video is going to focus on, is the idea of Overwatch 2 and if it will quote-unquote save Overwatch 1. That's why I began this video talking about Overwatch 2 and what it is, because like I mentioned before and what I'm going to be saying throughout this whole entire video, Overwatch 2 is a glorified update. And if you're not considering PvE, it's just an update. It's no different than the Halloween event or the Christmas event. So saying that Overwatch 2 is gonna make the meta balance, it's gonna fix all your problems, is like saying the winter event is gonna fix Overwatch. If we're not considering new heroes possibly shaking up the meta, the multiplayer experience in Overwatch 1 is gonna be the exact same in Overwatch 2 because the heroes are going to remain the exact same. The abilities, the cooldowns, the ultimates, heck, even the skins. But what Overwatch 2 is gonna do for the multiplayer experience of Overwatch is, yes, bring in some new maps and a new game mode, but just give it a fresh coat of paint. The Overwatch 2 Tracer that you're seeing in all these advertisements is going to be the exact same as the Overwatch 1 Tracer. It's not like she's going to have a fourth blink ability or have more bullets. She will be different in PvE, but not in PvP. So don't think that they're going to update the heroes in multiplayer because they're not, unless they are going to fine tune it during the time of Overwatch 1 and Overwatch 2. But unless they do that, it's gonna be the exact same heroes. So that's why I'm somewhat confused when people say that Overwatch 2 is going to fix all the problems in Overwatch 1, because it's not. It really isn't. It's going to be an update. What is going to fix your quote-unquote problems with Overwatch 1 is going to be the developers going onto the PTR and fine-tuning the heroes, something that they've been doing for the past 3 freaking years. So to help paint you a clearer picture on what Overwatch 2 will be like when it comes to multiplayer is that, say if it were to come out tomorrow, Double Shield is still going to be meta, Tracer and Genji are still going to be the worst DPS heroes, Symmetra is still going to be this broken hero when it comes to the Double Shield meta. Overwatch 2, while it has that number, while it might seem like a sequel, isn't going to be a brand new game. It's going to have a fresh new coat of paint and new content, which is always welcomed. But it's not going to change anything. Now, am I upset that Overwatch 2 multiplayer will be the exact same as Overwatch 1, at least how it stands right now? No, I'm definitely not. It might sound like I am, but I'm not. I'm upset at the people that are having these high expectations of Overwatch 2 when it's not even a fact. It's just incorrect and wrong. But I also get upset because there are quote-unquote so many problems with Overwatch 1. There are so many issues when it comes to the meta. There's so many issues with the toxic players. There's so many issues with the hackers on PC, which is an actual problem. Blizzard does need to address that and fix that because that's bad on them for them not taking more actions against the hackers. But that's what I'm so upset about, is that everyone has some form of problem when it comes to Overwatch 1, and they're putting all this pressure on Overwatch 2 when it's not gonna do anything. It might sound like I'm complaining for the next couple of minutes, but it seems like the Overwatch community will complain about literally anything involving this game. They're complaining about the lack of Overwatch lore, especially Zenyatta people, and they're complaining about Overwatch event content and even PvP content and heroes and the meta and this, that, Overwatch 2 possibly not being free, when it's like, it's never good enough. It's just never good enough. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, but people that say that this isn't good enough is straight up just entitled. You feel like you are entitled to free stuff. Like, no one is forcing you to play Overwatch. No one is forcing you to play the new heroes, the new maps, the new game modes, the new events, which are for free, by the way. You're just straight up entitled because they're not fixing your problems. Like, I guarantee you, all right, I have problems with Overwatch. Do not get me wrong. You have problems with Overwatch. Comment down below what your problem is, and I guarantee you at least 10 comments are going to come after yours that are completely different from your problems with Overwatch. And Blizzard is trying to accommodate with all of those people while still continuously updating the game and bringing all this for free, besides PvE. And then there's some people be like, well, they should bring that for free. And they don't understand how money works, man. They say PvE should be free because they're just so used to content being free in Overwatch, when they don't realize millions upon tens of millions of dollars are being used to develop a good story for us to follow and for us to play in that PvE experience. That takes money that, if you're not actively trying to support Blizzard to bring you that content, of course, they're not gonna bring it because it's not on their priority list. What is on their priority list is what you bought Overwatch for, and in a sense what you bought Overwatch 2 for, which is the multiplayer experience. And that involves the hackers, that involves the game modes, that involves the maps, that involves the meta, and that's all the stuff that I feel like should be focused on. But then there's some people that actively hate on Blizzard because they're not bringing Zenyatta lore. Like, quickly putting an end to my rant, will Overwatch 2 save Overwatch 1? Not necessarily, no. If I'm going to be straight up honest with you, it will not. But what it will do is make Overwatch 1 better than what it is, because it's supposed to bring us fresh, new, and free content. But the things that actually matter that you paid for originally when you got Overwatch, like gameplay, like the meta, like the hackers, can be fixed right this second. Not with the sequel to Overwatch, which is why those, I personally feel like, are justified issues to complain about. But when it comes to these other Overwatch 1 issues, like lack of cool Zenyatta skins or lack of Zenyatta lore, I gotta ask those complaining kids, are you buying loot boxes to help support Blizzard to be able to bring you all this free content? No? Then why are you complaining about free content, you know? And if you're gonna say, yeah, I bought loot boxes in the past and I'm still gonna complain, I gotta ask you again, is it with your parents' credit card or is it with your birthday money? Had you had to work for that money? Had you had to mow lawns or go to a job or actually get good grades in school to be able to earn that money? Because if you earn that money and you spent it on loot boxes to support Blizzard, then yes, you can totally complain because you're actively supporting the company to be able to bring you this this free content because, in a sense, you did pay for the content. But if all of that is no and you still feel like you are entitled to free stuff, I have no sympathy for you. Absolutely no sympathy, because you don't know how the world works. But of course, Blizzard accommodates for a spoiled bratty. Ugh, I want to say the A word so bad, but I'm not gonna curse here. But Overwatch is not perfect. There are tons of problems in many different areas, not just multiplayer, but in the events, in the lore, in the characters, the fact that there's not a playable black woman in the game. Like, there are issues that, yes, are valid to bring up. Are they justified? It depends on the situation. Are you actively supporting Blizzard? If yes, are they actively supporting you back? And that's just what you need to ask yourself. This game isn't perfect, and I'm definitely not asking for any of us to settle, but what I'm asking for all of us to do is not to blindly complain, and for us to give good, constructive criticism for things that we feel like are problems that need to be fixed. It could be as simple as a cool Genji skin or as serious as hackers in Overwatch. That's just for you to decide. I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching. More Overwatch videos to come, and bye.